Michael, thank you so much for inviting us to be here tonight. Marcom is a huge team of experts that work together to collaborate to let the world know about the values and the work that occurs with INCOSE. So, but we're also here to provide resources and values to you, the members. So tonight's presentation, although we will be talking about the art of social media marketing, we are also here to help you learn how to brand yourself as a subject matter expert. So I'd like to introduce myself as Honor Lynn, Director of Marketing and Communication for INCOSE. And Anthony is not only a volunteer for INCOSE, but he helps us often with some of our graphic designs, our marketing strategy, and our presentations. He helped us with our presentation this evening. He also has produced one of our newest publications known as the Yearbook. And I think you all saw it last year when he was an intern, our star intern for INCOSE. But since then, he has, was it last week that you just recently got promoted, Anthony, to business development for Airbus? So congratulations, Anthony. Not only are you experienced systems engineer, you're now moving into business development and project management. So yay, Anthony.
Thanks,
and then,
Honor.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, that was from Anthony. And then Samantha Bernal is not new to INCOSE. She's been around for a few years now, 4 or 5, but has recently been promoted to digital communication specialist for INCOSE. And she works daily with me, probably a little bit too much, but she's what I call my number one. And so with Anthony and Samantha, they help us optimize our digital marketing resources, and they help expand our communication to the global audience. So thank you, Samantha and Anthony, for all that you do for INCOSE. I couldn't do my job without the two of you.
Same here.
I give them a little bit too much work to do, but you both come to me with great ideas. So it takes a team to move this ship. So again, I have over 30 years experience. I hate to admit that. It's probably been a little bit more. I also have a master's degree in nonprofit management and marketing communications. So I have been working in the engineer field for association management for Naylor, for IASE, and now for INCOSE. So I get to bring all that wealth of knowledge and experience here to the INCOSE playground. Would you like to advance to the next slide, Anthony? So I like to start with the minimal foundational support of what is marketing. A lot of people have some miscommunications about marketing, but marketing is more than just advertising. It's more than just an ad that announces a product, service, or a new innovative thought. Marketing starts with a plan. I think you guys know a little bit about that approach. And then in order to get someone to act and convert them over to either a member or to act upon that message you're trying to get them engaged with, you're trying to get them to convert and buy in. So you need a whole marketing plan that really engages with your said audience or members. And in order to get them engaged, you have to come up with that, who you're going to market to, who you're going to target, what are you trying to say, and how do you simplify that message? We are all in the art of marketing. So whether you're trying to sell to your peers, or whether you're trying to sell to your boss, or whether you're trying to sell to your family to buy that new car, we're all in a position at some point in time in our life to promote, advance, and market ourselves to try to be a thought leader or a change agent. So we're going to learn some fundamental principles here tonight on how to optimize yourself through the digital marketing platforms that we're going to introduce you to this evening. Next slide. So why market? Why bother? If they build it, they will come. Have you ever built something and all of a sudden people are interested in it? But if you don't tell them about it, how are they going to know? So spreading your message about your chapter, working group, or yourself, whether it's a new book or a new thought or a new modeling or a new form of engagement, you want to increase that membership or that exposure or that new thought of yourself as a subject matter expert in your field. You want to increase that engagement through marketing platforms to either promote your product, your services, your publication, and increase your awareness outside of exposure, outside of INCOSE. And how you do that is social media platforms. I hope all of you are a little bit familiar with social media. And if you're not, I hope you will consider creating a profile for yourself after tonight's session. Next. How has the digital age changed in marketing? Well, I just dated myself. So going back 30 years when I first started.
I just dated myself. So going back 30 years. Started.
Can you still hear me? Okay, great. So how has the digital age changed in marketing? The digital platform has changed a lot from the evolution of television and print. However, we still use television and print in our local communities. So I might do a little bit of combination tonight on how to optimize yourself as a subject matter expert. You can still use public television in your local communities, or your other organizations or associations are doing good deeds in your community in public speaking to create awareness locally. But in order to expand the digital landscape or the global community, you need to use these various platforms in order to do that. So with the digital age of marketing, not only do we use email, we use other platforms that Sam and Anthony will expand upon later in this presentation, but we use instruments like social media, email marketing, website marketing. So the translations of ads have really developed into either paid content, organic content, advertising. You can create ads for yourself, but we find that telling the story is the best way to expand your marketing resources because people are more interested in stories. So the art of digital marketing really starts with you telling your story about yourself through your experiences. So it's very important that you learn the different ways to attract your tribe and to get the message out, and how to use social media to advance yourself. Next slide. So who needs marketing? As I said earlier, we're all in the position to sell something to someone somehow. So anybody who wants to be effective and translate new ideas and new methods and new products, you're the one that needs marketing. And understanding the tools and the resource to advance yourself is the first step to success. So anyone who wants to create a business, a new product, or a new service, orchestrating how to create your message and target your unique audience is the best way to start in your new transformation to becoming a branded entity. Next slide. So the difference between marketing and advertising is quite simply an ad. It's just an ad to promote that said service or product or that unique function of your business. Marketing is that platform, that strategy, that methodology that goes behind that ad. An ad is just one component of marketing. PR is another very important aspect. Together, PR, advertising, and what you do in between in those public service announcements or the many events that you can produce for yourself on LinkedIn, all of those methods combined together create the art of marketing. Next slide. So how can you implement marketing? You can do it by promoting your own chapter or other organizations or associations that you're a member of. You can brand yourself by creating a brand image. If you go on LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of what I call public service speakers or coaches that are out there branding LinkedIn services, but they're teaching how to be a brand entity, with whether they pick a color that they associate themselves with or a tagline that they create for themselves. You'll notice that some people are really sticking out on different mediums as that kind of subject matter expert. You can do that for yourself with some techniques that we're going to teach you this evening. So spreading the news and selling your proposed product and creating change. A lot of you, I listened to the beginning of the session tonight. There's a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of energy going on. And INCOSE is a great platform where whether you're in a working group or whether you're in a chapter or whether you're doing a new project at work, using these platforms are a great way of opportunity to promote yourself as a subject matter expert, creating new ideas, new thoughts, new energy. And you can use these platforms to bring it to the surface for awareness for everyone in the global community of systems engineers. So you can create change. Next slide. Okay, so setting campaigns aims the who, why, what, where, and when. Those are the fundamental questions when you're orchestrating either a press release or a campaign strategy or what to post on LinkedIn. I always use LinkedIn because that's a business platform that we gravitate and use the most. We have over 28,000 followers. When I first started, I think we're around 15,000, and I've been here for about 2 years now. So using that same method, who are we? Why are we here? What are we doing? Where are we trying to go? You know, when is certain events going to happen? So using those simple questions really helps you set the stage to create your own campaign, even for branding yourself. Next slide. So branding, how do you brand yourself? How do you brand your chapter? How do you brand your working group? How do you brand your book, Dr. Brown? So what you do is you think about colors and colors on a color wheel and what they mean and what the symbolism is to colors. They, believe it or not, when IBM or INCOSE or that Coca-Cola red, there's a lot of symbolism to the colors that you select for yourself, and you can research that online. However, artists and designs and marketing teams come together to really correlate what those colors mean and what we're trying to say. And this is a sampling and a source of how you can choose what colors you're trying to convey when you're trying to brand yourself. So color symbolism and why color matters. What name and what font you use is another design technique. Coming up with a logo that really personifies who and what you are and how you serve. A lot of thought goes into that, and most importantly, a tagline. Samantha is using the INCOSE branded backdrop there, the Zoom backdrop: connect, learn, lead, prosper. We selected those images to showcase who we are to connect, how we're here to learn, how we can lead through learning those about those books and resources that we offer here at INCOSE, so you can go forth and prosper and be an incredible systems engineer in the global community. So we hope to attract more thought leaders together to expand our membership with that tagline. And call to action, you need to use certain action verbs: buy, sell, engage, connect. So that's why we chose those words purposely and with intent. And we use the color blue because it's part of the INCOSE color palette. So value statements, mission statements, and vision statements. I'm sure you have that success going on with your chapter. That's why your chapter has won so many awards, but you can adopt those principles for your own personal branding, coming up with your own tagline. If you're trying to optimize yourself as a public speaker about systems engineers, MBSE, systems ML, AI, what's your unique function of your interest, and what are you trying to achieve in the global market as a subject matter expert? If it's just educating the value of systems engineers, then own it and come up with your own unique tagline and be that, so you can become the next keynote speaker at the next major event around the world. Next slide. So call to actions, I just touched on that. It's the action verb: buy now, show now, click here, empower yourself. We use some of these campaigns. Follow us on our social media platforms. You'll recognize some of that in the campaigns that we use, especially for certification. We have a whole campaign about empower yourself. We created with Courtney, right, for our SET programs. So the next time you look at INCOSE's LinkedIn and our social media platforms, you'll kind of know a little bit about the method behind the madness and how we came up with those taglines, colors, and visual imagery to correlate with those campaign strategies. Again, you too can use that for yourself for your next campaign when you're trying to become a change agent in the global community. Next slide. So this is more about the reach, act, convert. We will give you a copy of this presentation so you can take a deeper dive to look at these graphics of how to reach, act, convert, and engage. We do find that this is a great resource if you're trying to create a campaign, and I encourage you to do that for your chapters and working groups and other projects that you're working on. However, again, for personal branding and personal ID, you just have to take a moment to think about what you're trying to achieve as you move forward to become your own unique brand. Next slide, please. And we're about to get into the crux of why you're probably really here: messaging yourself to the global community. So as you walk through trying to message yourself from the global, there's many ways that Anthony and Sam, I've asked them to put together some examples to showcase here tonight on how how you can leverage yourself and how you're to post and how you're to create a message to tell your story, whether it is a new book, whether it's a new certification achievement, whether it's an award or recognition in your community, or whether it's award or recognition at work. Those are all great accomplishments that you should use to expand upon on the social media platforms. Believe it or not, it's probably a little uncomfortable for you to brag about yourself, but bragging about yourself and talking about who you are and talking about what you do really helps expand the world of systems engineering and what it means and why it's a value. So tell the stories that optimize greatness in your work. Talk about the stories of systems engineering and what type of models that you use to be effective. These stories are important. These stories aren't only important for you to tell, they're important for INCOSE, and more importantly, they're important for your peers, because then we can share those stories to tell others the value and importance of being a systems engineer. So it's your story and your journey, and we want to hear more from you. So connect, learn, lead, prosper, and move forward in the systems engineering global community. And I hope tonight you'll be able to learn a lot more on how to post and share your journey. Next slide. And why does branding yourself matter? Because of community engagement, networking, expansion, and consistency and visibility. It showcases that you're the expert, you're the thought leader, and that you can educate your audience and share your knowledge with others, become the mentor. So I hope that helped you. I believe Samantha's up.
Yeah, so Honors talked a lot about branding yourself. And if you want to go to the next slide, Anthony, INCOSE does a really good job of multiple ways that they use their channels to brand INCOSE along with INCOSE chapters. And you can do this for yourself as well. So when we post for channels, we use all social media platforms: LinkedIn, Twitter, formerly known as X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We make sure to share content across all of these channels. We have the LinkedIn official group, which Honor has mentioned has gained a lot of followers. We have our membership newsletters that get sent out quarterly that showcase important articles and information that INCOSE members need to know. We have our yearly impact statement and mid-year impact statement to show how INCOSE has grown throughout each and every year. We have the INCOSE website, obviously, where everything gets posted for events, news, things that are going on around the INCOSE community, which also within the INCOSE community, we have Yammer, which is just a specific global community for INCOSE members, just overall. We have the Marketing Hub, which Honor and I have just started putting together in the last few months. And that mainly focuses on main social posts that have been posted on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook. And then it takes you directly to those links in order to share what is going on throughout INCOSE. And then we also have eNote, which is all like the hot topics and everything that's going on that needs to know throughout INCOSE. So we've got a lot of different channels that we go through just to market INCOSE to a bunch of people. And so there's lots of ways to post on social media. So first you have to know your audience. So when I talk about sending out the hub or the eNote, we have specific target groups for emails that are generated just for those groups. So you need to know who wants to see what and when they want to see it. And you want to define your goals by determining your post purpose. Like, why is this important for individuals to see? So you also have to choose the right platform, because even though we post across all different social media accounts, what works on Instagram might not work on INCOSE's LinkedIn page. And so you really need to know if this cute little video that I found about system engineers on Instagram is actually going to resonate with my LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn is more business like professional. So you really need to know the right platform. You have to post engaging content. This is something that people just want to see. Pictures, emojis, stuff that grabs people's attention right away is always very beneficial for any type of post that you do. And you also have to use hashtags or the @ symbols correctly. When you do start using hashtags, a lot of the platforms will start to generate and populate the most popular ones. So those will get the most views. So like if you hashtag and then start typing in INCOSE, lots of different ones will pop up, and you can use multiple hashtags for the same post. So I would suggest using as many hashtags as possible. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to get you a broader reach for that post.
So Samantha has talked about the importance of social media, and I'm going to talk about the power of LinkedIn as a platform for professional growth, for networking, knowledge sharing, and personal branding. Let's start with the essential elements which revolve around creating a good LinkedIn post. So first and foremost, share informative and professional content. Your post should offer valuable insights, industry knowledge, and contribute to meaningful discussions. Today, visuals are really vital in our digital age, so use compelling visuals like images or videos to make your post more engaging and attention-grabbing. Also, in a world where time is precious, keep your posts concise and straight to the point. The second element for a good LinkedIn post is making it more discoverable. And for that, use relevant hashtags to increase your post visibility. As Samantha mentioned, hashtags help people interested in your topic find your post and expand your reach. So organize your content under relevant industry tags. For example, if you're posting about systems engineering, hashtag INCOSE, hashtag system engineering, systems thinking, MBSE, AI. This makes it easier for like-minded professionals who are interested in these topics to find your posts and engage with you. And lastly, the third element is all about using the @ symbol correctly. So involve your network by using @ mentions to tag your connections. You can tag your LinkedIn connections. You can tag other organizations, groups, or other companies. This not only encourages engagement, but also strengthens your professional relationships. And remember, LinkedIn is a professional network. So don't just collect connections, mention them and nurture and build relationships. These are some examples of what to post on LinkedIn. So you can post about your chapter engagement. You can post about conference participation if you have participated in a conference, or if you have presented at a conference. You can take a picture and post it. You can post about your published works, such as books, papers, or any other publication. You can share about achievements and awards. If you got INCOSE certified, if you got the CSAP certification or the ESAP certification, you can also post about it. You can share observations, your positive insights, cite publications if you've read an interesting publication. And lastly, image is everything. You know the saying, the old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, on LinkedIn brings this old saying to life, and here's why. In our world of professional networking, time is really the essence. So visuals are your secret weapon to quickly convey complex ideas, to convey your professional journey, and to convey your personal brand. So visual content, be it images or videos, tends to attract more engagement, and it's like a magnet on the LinkedIn field. For example, for your chapter, you have mentioned that you have won more than 15 awards. We're gonna soon publish the INCOSE Awards and Recognition Yearbook. So for example, you can take a screenshot of the page on which your chapter figures. You can post it on LinkedIn, brag about your chapter. You can also take a picture of your awards, post it. You can do a throwback campaign where you talk about your previous achievements, your previous awards. And think of visuals as tools for effective storytelling. They really allow you to showcase your work, your accomplishments, and industry impact in a way that plain text cannot. So if you post about winning 15 awards in a plain text, you wouldn't convey the idea as engaging as it would be by posting a visual image, be it an image or a video or any other visual element. So as you craft your presence on LinkedIn, remember that a picture is indeed worth 1,000 words. And now Samantha is going to share some LinkedIn profile tips.
Yeah, and just to kind of touch on that, like I know Michael earlier you were talking about what to do with all the awards. You know, you could think of a really creative way to maybe have all the awards lying out and then like an empty blank wall and be like, oh, which award should I hang up today because we've got so many of them, you know, just to kind of engage and be funny and brag about how amazing your chapter is. And you can post more than one picture within a post. And yeah, as Anthony said too, pictures are worth 1,000 words and they grab people's attention. You can also upload just really quick shorts, just like a 1 to 2 minute video. Always add subtitles when you can. And live videos, they create 24 times more engagement than regular videos. So if you go live as opposed to posting something that you have pre-recorded, your live video is always going to hit more people. You're going to always want to insert main keywords. So it would be like at INCOSE Chesapeake chapter, like we rock and like we're awesome, hashtag like how many more awards can we get, kind of play off of that. You're going to want to incorporate key phrases like systems engineering, stuff like that. You want to share relevant content. So I know you guys do like holiday parties. You can kind of promote that through social media. You want to share as much as possible and as often as possible. And then use emojis when you can. So when you're typing, any place that you can insert a text, you can also insert an emoji. So those also grab people's attention too. So if you have like an emoji within hashtags and @ symbols, and then either a picture or a video, your post is very likely to get a lot more views and hits and connections than if you were to just post like, oh, yay, we won an award again. So think outside the box, yes, and always brag about yourself. It might seem weird, as Honor mentioned at the very beginning, but you know, you've accomplished so much and there's nothing wrong with letting people know about all the hard work that you've dedicated to the chapter or to yourself or to your brand or anything that you're trying to market.
Here is a suggestion of a LinkedIn post layout. So first, start with a engaging visual to grab attention. Then craft an engaging headline. You can insert an emoji next to the headline. For example, I'm thrilled to announce something with a rocket emoji. And then write short, concise, and straight to the point content. It doesn't need to be very short, but remember, time is valuable nowadays, so people don't tend to read very long LinkedIn posts. Remember to mention people, to mention organizations. If you're posting about INCOSE, you can always mention INCOSE by using the @ symbol. Add a call to action. For example, you can add the link, you can hyperlink your chapter's website. On LinkedIn, when you enter a link, it isn't automatically hyperlinked. You can see it before you post, but once you post it, LinkedIn automatically adds a hyperlink to it. And then also remember to include relevant hashtags. Here are some good examples of good LinkedIn posts. This is an example of Dr. Bernardo, who posted that he's thrilled to share some exciting news with his network. So he started with an engaging headline. He added a rocket emoji. He mentioned INCOSE. He mentioned the Spanish Air Force. He included relevant hashtags while writing his LinkedIn post content. You can either add your hashtags throughout the post, or at the in the end of your post, you can add the relevant hashtags too. There's no right and wrong. The reachability, the visibility will be the same as long as you include the hashtag in your post. He concluded with a call to action. Stay tuned for updates from the event, and he used an engaging visual. Another thing about LinkedIn, you can also repost some existing posts. For example, on the first picture on the left, Honor reposted a post that was an INCOSE post about the Q3 members newsletter. She added the relevant hashtags, INCOSE, systems engineering, and membership values, and she shared with her network that she's proud to be part of this global organization. Then another good example of a LinkedIn post is an example of Erica Palmer, who posted about going to an INCOSE conference in India. So as you can see, she posted a selfie, probably in the airport, as we can see in the background. So even though LinkedIn is a professional platform, you can always post selfies if it's in a professional context. So it doesn't need to be very, very formal. And as you can see, Erica also included at the end of her post, she added the link towards the conference if people were interested in checking out the link and learning more about the conference. And as Samantha mentioned, you can also add many pictures. You can create a photo collage on LinkedIn. So as you can see here, only the first 4 images of a photo collage show on LinkedIn. You can post as many images as you can, but remember that while people are scrolling through the field, through the LinkedIn feed, they can only see the first 4 pictures. So if you're at the conference, you can post as many pictures as you want, but on the feed, the 4 pictures would show first, and then you need to click on the plus button to see the others. Thank you for your attention. I hope you found this presentation interesting, and if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer.
I'd like to point out also using the @ symbol, at Chesapeake chapter, at Anthony, at Sam. When you put the @ what you saw in the last post, it attracts, Ralph Hartman, Erica Palmer. It actually goes to their feed. So your messaging will go out to many people. I just wanted to point out the relevancy where you see their names. That's because they follow each other. Steve Records, they were all at the event. And then by putting their name there, it is now going to their feed. It's almost like putting it in a mailbox. And so the hashtags are important because it goes into other bigger communities, and other members of the systems engineering, networking, social media, virtual community will see these posts as well. And now the individuals know that they're being recognized, but more importantly, that it's showing up in their feed. So you've just expanded your message and your voice to a much bigger audience readership and participation. Does anybody have any questions?
So, hey, it's Mike. So that's the talk, and it's time for questions. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, great.
So
No,
thank you. Thank
that's
you,
terrific.
Sam and
Thank you.
Anthony.
Yeah. So no, that's terrific. Actually, I'll lead off because I had a few, but I'll start with just one. I thought it was interesting that you said a live video gets more hits than pre-recorded, and I just struggled with that. I thought a live means it has to be live. It's right now. So how are people watching? Whereas if it's recorded, they can see it at any time. So if you just explain a little bit more what that is and why that works that way.
So that's a great question. So even the live videos, they get archived as saved videos. So if I were to start a live video right now and then kind of just be like, oh, I'm in this meeting right now, blah, blah, blah. And then I end the video, it still will generate to a saved video so people can rewatch it. So it's not like it goes away automatically. And then people will be able to also see comments that people post. And live videos are great because you can directly interact with individuals right then and there. So like Mike, if you're doing something and you're like, oh, I'm just taking a walk and like it's really pretty outside, people who are starting to join your live video can start typing into the comments and say, oh, like what's the temperature like in your neck of the woods, or like where are you walking to? And you can say like, oh, hey, Honor, I'm just walking to the grocery store. And then she might be like, oh, what are you going to buy at the grocery store? So you can interact right then and there with people. Whereas
Okay,
It's live engagement.
right.
And
gotcha.
if I
Okay.
could add to that, so when you're at a conference, oh, we're so excited to be here at the International Symposium, INCOSE Symposium, and I'm so excited. I'm about to meet one of my mentors. They're coming up on stage, you kind of create the sense of authenticity and excitement. Or if you're out to lunch or having, a drink after a conference, or you're demonstrating a new technique or a new modeling or something that you've learned, you're like, oh, you won't believe what I just learned. And this is really, show a picture or introduce someone. But it's a really good way to either do an improv tutorial or a pop-up tutorial or an exchange of ideas where you invite your community of, I say readers, listeners, or viewers, but it notifies everyone on your feed, hey, Mike's live now. You can go check out what Mike's talking about immediately and be a part of the conversation in real time. And the trend of today, that digital platform forever changing, not only are the emojis new to put the little emojis, I used to make fun of them and now I use them, but it really helps put a picture with your words. But that live interaction and that new voice of authenticity, they want to see the real time, real action, what's happening in the now. And so I find that that's why the videos in real time have more impact, because it's authentic.
Well,
and they have more authentic voice.
Sorry. And then you can also see who's viewing live as well. So you can see your audience. So you can give them shout outs on the video. So you can kind of validate them being them watching you, or like validate like, oh, hey, Honor, thanks so much for like joining me live. Hey, Anthony, thanks so much. Like, I really appreciate you being here. So you can have even more of a personal connection with somebody.
You can stage your pop-up live.
Yeah.
You can stage it if you wanted to do. Raymond Wolfgang, does anyone see his videos on LinkedIn? He just cracks me up. He's raw, he's live, he's out there, he records. But there is on Facebook, I believe on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, there's that option to go live record right then and right there. You do it from your phone.
Okay.
Right, Samantha?
Yeah, you can do it from your computer too, but it's easier normally just to do it with your phone because you're out and about or something like that. Yeah, it creates a good engagement with people.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks. You guys are trying to shift me to think like an influencer, right? And that's
Yes.
That's a shift. So
it's exactly what today's market is calling for, today's digital age and the virtual platforms in use, and to optimize yourself as a subject matter expert in the global community. If you start doing live demos and you become the authority, you become the leader, and then you add those hashtags and @ symbols, and your voice becomes more and more popular and heard.
Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? Someone else?
Hey, I have one, Mike. One just comment is like this self-marketing thing looks like a lot of work, because the way I see it. But so I'm not too social media active in the social media channels and stuff. And I was wondering, it's like, what would you recommend for, as if there was a minimal, if this was like, okay, if you wanted to get started, this is the least amount of thing that you could do to have the biggest impact.
I want Anthony and Sam to, but you don't have to overthink it. If there's something, I'm doing a board presentation tomorrow in real time. They will all be posting in real time at the board meeting tomorrow. Surprise. and just take a picture. Just start being active. Be active, be now, be in the moment. I just read this book. I just heard this great speaker. Take a picture of your desk and, you know, make an observation. You know, look at the sky and a system within a system within a system. There's so much to talk about in the world of systems engineer. You're everywhere. Everything's a system. Of course, I think Barkley would kill me for saying that. But you got, you know, from aerospace and defense to automotive to operational systems within your church and at home. What system are you using at home? I mean, you can make funny anecdotes as well. So start now, be authentic, be raw, but most importantly, be active. You don't have to put a systems approach to branding yourself. You don't have to put, when I say systems approach, I'm talking from a marketing strategic plan. I mean, we do evaluations, we do program evaluations. We do a lot of the same methodologies that you do when we're really trying to analyze a product, you know, soft launch versus impact. So I encourage you to take action and to do it now and just start posting and sharing and use pictures and videos to make a difference, to make a message. Figure out what that message is. Be funny, be authentic, be real, be deep. Watch Star Trek, make an observation on Star Trek, and then bring that to your global audience on LinkedIn. I mean, Barkley does it. You can do it.
I mean, because the thing is you're never going to know what actually works until you continuously post. So a lot of the people out there who have millions of followers got kind of lucky on just one random weird post that they did, and the internet found it hilarious and everybody started following them. So you just kind of have to keep throwing things out there, find what sticks, and then just go from there. I mean, I post stuff and I get sometimes no likes and I'm like, nobody likes me. But then like I'll post another picture and then it'll get like 100 likes. And I'm like, oh, okay, people do like me. So you just kind of have to just throw things out there and see what sticks.
And that's why the at symbols are like shout outs to people. Hey, I want you to know about this. And the hashtags are, I want it to go in those bigger feeds. So that helps get more traction. Sam, I like you.
Oh, thank you. I like me too.
But channel wise, it doesn't matter. Like you'd say, like LinkedIn, just start with one of them or something.
Yeah, start from one. Don't overthink it, like Honor mentioned earlier, and you know, start small. Just make sure you're posting on a consistent basis, because if you post once and then don't post again for a month, people are going to be active. Like, yeah, you've got to be continuously active.
But I do hear what you're saying, Clint. I think what you're really saying, and I want Anthony to chime in here too, about Facebook is more for that family informal, you know. But even though I do see a lot of funny on LinkedIn lately, they're now starting to engage with humor. It used to be more, okay, remember I said I'm dating myself. The newspaper back in the day used to have the business section, the entertainment section, the arts and entertainment, the community section. So Facebook is like your community. The business section is like LinkedIn. Instagram, I would say, is more your restaurants and fashion and retailers of what's going on, or or kind of like interior designs, or it is subject matter experts, but different, you know, for your dog trainer. Now, Twitter is a whole different animal, and it's more about doing it a little. So with those awards, you could have a lot of fun on Twitter because it's more about the dancing and attracting. You can have a message, but it's more about fun and being whimsical. And so, but Twitter can also be, you see a lot of debates going on too, back and forth, and observations and more statements. And so it's how you, Anthony, can you and Sam elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, Twitter has a bit of everything. It has news accounts like BBC, CNN. It has parody accounts. It has a bit of everything. So it combines both the professional and the personal words. Instagram is more for personal posts, for as Honor mentioned, for going out to a restaurant, for like fashion, things like that. Whereas LinkedIn is the most professional platform. So if you'd like to post about systems engineering, LinkedIn is surely the platform. If you want to post about your personal life, you can post on Instagram. And if you want to post about maybe both, or if you want to create your own X or Twitter account, you can choose how you want to, what you want to post on it. But if you're starting on social media and if you want a professional platform, LinkedIn is the best platform to start with.
Thank you.
And I would think Twitter is more like a debate kind of thing as well. So a lot of people take to Twitter to find out what companies are doing, and then you would share it on your own Twitter page and say like, oh, this I don't agree with. What do you guys think? And then you would retweet what this company has posted or anything like that.
And then TikTok is a new, well, it's not new, but it's more informal and more fun.
Very informative,
So
actually.
Ron has his hand up. Ron?
Thank you. Good afternoon, all. Just a general question, effectively kind of following up from where the discussion is already going. You know, with respect to efficiency and impact, and even kind of staying active, you have options that are out there such as LinkedIn Pro, or even services that are willing to kind of take on some of this activity for you. Do you have any thoughts on doing that? And not just from the personal perspective, but maybe from whether it's a chapter, for example, I used to be a member of the Hampton Roads area chapter, looking to get active with you guys, but maybe, offices that are in the area. Just any thoughts on paid services, if you have any. Over.
So for example, if we start with LinkedIn Pro, it's not really a paid service that would post for you. It's more for people who are looking for a job, because they can reach out to recruiters easier. They can see who is seeing their profiles. But if you would like to grow your audience, I wouldn't recommend subscribing, taking the LinkedIn Pro subscription, because it's not meant for that. It's more for people looking for a job. I think there are marketing agencies that would post for you and that would grow your audience. But that would be more if you'd like to market a product, or market a book, for example. But on assistant engineering level, you can do everything by yourself. You can always reach out to us in Marcom. You can benefit from all the resources that INCOSE provides, and you can start posting on your own.
Prior to working for INCOSE full time, one of the jobs that I had as a consultant, and I believe Sam was the consultant at one point in time as well. That is why we were contracted. Whether someone like Barkley would be a good example, having a PR agent or a marketing agent to promote his book and all the different resources and how it can be used. Oftentimes publishers, public speakers, those who are trying to create a brand for themselves and how to do that, they need to focus on the unique function of what they're trying to achieve as a subject matter expert. And then they hire professional consultant companies to come in and help become their marketing PR agent. So if your chapter and working group, we provide that service as INCOSE Central to you. We are coming out with a lot of Marcom tools and Marcom resources and Marcom toolkits to help support how to expand your membership in your chapter, how to create awareness for your working group. And if you're doing fundraisers on a local level, we can help support that too. We can't become your full-time marketing PR agency, but we can help empower you through support and through templates and through toolkits to help expand that for you. But there are, I bet there's some local people that would welcome the opportunity and have a lot of fun working with you if you were looking to expand that into a bigger picture.
Yeah, you can always individually boost a post. So if you have something that directly through LinkedIn and just pay LinkedIn to boost a post, or Facebook, you can pay like $5.
We do that.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you can
we
do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, take advantage of the Marcom team, because you could have an event going on, and if we don't know about it, it's not going to get posted. So if there's an event going on, it can get posted to the INCOSE website. And then that event can also get posted throughout social media if you want, or it gets put on the e-note, which goes out monthly to all members of INCOSE. So there's a broad audience that can be reached
We
just
also
through the
have-
marketing.
We have an events form that you can fill out
Yes.
for the chapter working groups. And if you fill out, go to the INCOSE, here, I'll find it and I'll put it in the chat. But we want to help be your central resource for marketing and PR to help empower yourself as a subject matter expert and empower your chapter for success. Although you are very successful, we're here to support you, and we're all here to help each other do better and be better. Did that help answer your question?
Absolutely. Thanks.
Okay, I'm getting the events form for you to fill out for all your events, webinars, workshops that you produce. And if you fill out the form, it goes on our major calendar of events, and then mark on, depending on how you fill out the form, you can check mark, we need help in our marketing and design and our messaging, and we're here for you. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I've got one. Sort of a follow-up to something Clinton said, just some guidance on how to, I guess, we all have jobs to do. And so it's hard to imagine getting on that posting treadmill across, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, right? I mean, if you start committing to posting once a week on 5 or 6 platforms, it's very easy to suddenly find yourself overwhelmed. Do you guys have any guidance on, if you pick 1 or 2, roughly what's the minimum frequency you need to post to kind of keep yourself out there? Is there any, is it that simple, or is it?
Well, to start with, I'd say select one. And Sam, we have resources like Sendable, and there's a lot of other integrated platforms that Sam can talk about. If you post on the one, it'll populate them to them all. So Sam, do you want to touch base on that?
Yeah, there's lots of programs out there, and I'm not sure if Sendable has a free trial edition, but it's what we use. And you just create one post, and then you link it to your Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everything, and then it sends it out across all channels. So it's nice and easy, because then you don't have to go to each.
But you did say though, each one of those channels is a little different though.
It does.
You got to be careful about just saying, well, I'll take
That's
this
right.
Well,
I was just about to say
but so
that.
then, on Sendable, you can edit each post just within the text there. So it'll have different tabs for each one. So it'll have different tabs for like a LinkedIn post, and then you can just slightly edit it or slightly change the picture, and then it'll post that one.
And I do want to be careful. I didn't mean to imply this is just a chore, and it's not. It can be fun and enjoyable and very.
It's
valuable,
a lot of work.
It is.
But it is some work, and I just want to, I just don't want it to become a chore, right? I want it to stay
right.
And stay energized about it, as opposed to, oh my God, it's Monday, I've got to, do 5 new posts, right?
That was a good question. And it is hard, but it depends. Are you trying to become basically, it depends on what you're trying to get out of your engagement. Are you just trying to stay connected? Are you just trying to network? Are you trying to seek a new job? Are you trying to reposition yourself as a global thought leader? It really depends on what Anthony has put in front of us.
Yeah.
Choose the right platform. What's your content? Craft your engaging content and use hashtags. But it's really, it depends on what you want out of it.
I mean, no, that's a really good point. I do have to think about that. Yeah. Really do.
And it'll start coming natural too, the more you do it. So at first it might seem like a chore and daunting and like, oh, I've got to post again, or like, oh, I've got to do this again. And then it'll slowly turn into, okay, like, I don't mind posting this. And then you'll maybe one day wake up and be like, yeah, I can't wait to post this, and be really excited about something.
And once you start posting, it becomes spontaneous. Like you don't have to think about posting. Like it happens spontaneously once you get used to it. And it a lot
The
of time to
easiest-
write a LinkedIn post, for example. It only takes 2 to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe maximum, to write a very good and engaging LinkedIn post.
The easiest way to post, of course, I have to put this out there, is to share.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I
And,
thought that's a good point.
Is to, if you're like, oh, I don't want to do, what do I do today? Well, let me go see what's going on in INCOSE, the official site. And we post about 4 or 5 a day because we don't want to oversaturate our market, but we
Mhm.
try to post what is relevant, what's hip, what's current, what's happening. And or you can, what's happening with your chapter, if your chapter is
Mhm.
posting frequently, share that. If your organization or company is posting, share that. So sometimes sharing is just as effective.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, you're right.
You can share it and leave your thoughts as well, as Honor did here, for example.
Mhm.
She shared INCOSE's post and had added her own thoughts with relevant hashtags here.
Good post, Honor.
Well, thank you. I was encouraging others to read our members newsletter so they could learn about the membership values of INCOSE as their professional society of systems engineers. And Erica, wherever she travels, speaking about Fuse, speaking about INCOSE, speaking about systems engineering, whether she's teaching at Cornell or in a train, writing, she's really good at doing what I call the authentic post of where she's going, what she's doing, how it relates. But it's not, I don't think it takes her very long, and they're very effective. I'm on my way to India to the AOSEC conference. Simple. Keep it
Mhm.
simple.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, that's what I meant by don't overthink it, just act. Now, the next post had a lot more thought. That probably took at least 20 minutes, if not more. Or orchestrated, and it was thought very well. But he had a lot, he thought about what he wanted to say, what he was posting, who he wanted to target. And that is an extended post, but it was an effective post. So we just kind of wanted you to get a earmark of what the different ways you could post: share, personal, on my way, and thank you recognition.
No, that makes perfect sense. I think I tend to always focus on the longer posts that take time to put together and don't think about the short form posts that are quicker to do. So I think it's a really good point.
But also for longer posts, there's a new feature in LinkedIn, for example, which is using AI to draft a post. So you can briefly write what you want to share about, and the AI would automatically generate a LinkedIn post draft. You can edit it later on, adapt it to what you want to share about, and but you can always use the AI as a template for a LinkedIn post.
Does the
That's-
AI add the hashtags?
I'm not sure. I've never used it, but I know that there's the feature.
Yeah.
Hashtags, it's whatever you're posting about. The content, you can take words in your post, happy, gratitude, live long
Okay.
and prosper.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought there was sort of a standard list of hashtags, right? That you have to kind of know to use.
You make them up.
Oh,
But
okay.
but Sam, you had a good point today. When you said, you tell the story. When you do the hashtags, they'll pop.
It populates the most popular ones. So those are the ones that you're going to want to
They come
start
up.
out with. So if you hashtag just INCOSE will pop up first. If you start typing in like hashtag INCOSE IS, like that'll start popping up too. And there'll be different sub hashtags for each one. So you can hashtag all of them, but it'll kind of guide you in the right direction of which ones are generating the most traction throughout like the LinkedIn universe or the Instagram universe.
So when you do the hashtag, like if you put hashtag systems engineers or hashtag engineers, because maybe you're trying to get a message to the engineers about the value of systems engineers.
Mhm.
So I think there's like 1.5 million engineers. That hashtag already has that many people in that community. When that hashtag occurs, all those people will kind of be notified and it goes into their feed. That's why the hashtags are important. And when you do the symbol, the hashtag INCOSE, it'll show how many followers and hashtag systems engineers. And sometimes you're like, why is that saying less than 10,000? That's because we need you to start using those hashtags more.
Mhm.
And then that viewership will increase. And then we have a really strong following. That's why we're hoping to help encourage our global community to use our hashtags, so we can broaden our message through those threads of communication as well. Digital.
Like for an example, a lot of times these days, people use hashtags for their wedding. So then if you click on that hashtag, it'll pull up everything that people are posting about. So like if I'm getting married and I have a hashtag like specific for my wedding, then if everybody who are in attendance post pictures there, I can just click on that hashtag and it'll pull up everything from just that specific event. So that's why hashtags are so great, is because it'll populate the main important posts that are generated throughout which social media platform you're using.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question then about that. So in my like personal profile page on LinkedIn, then things that I'm interested in, then maybe I should be putting those hashtags
Yes.
in there, so then that way I'm, you know, gaining information as well as people spot me as well. But I'm also thinking we can do the same thing for our Chesapeake chapter LinkedIn area as well. So then therefore, if we're talking, okay, well, you know, a lot of us are involved with MBSE, so we probably should put that in there. Earlier, we were talking about Cameo and what was the Capella,
That's
right?
right.
So there's
So
other
you would
things
do
there. I guess we
Cameo,
could-
Campella, Deso, Siemens. I
Yeah.
heard Siemens. So all those, yes,
So
exactly.
we could put that inside the Chesapeake chapter area as well. So then therefore that gets popped up with other people and they can see what we're doing about it.
That's right.
Yeah, the upcoming, you know, speakers or anything else that's going to be happening. All right. Okay. I didn't understand the hashtag part that much, but now it seems like it's
It's
now we
important.
take it with the
Yeah.
hashtag, then that gives you so hashtag INCOSE right now has how many people following?
Let me get a LinkedIn. Can you tell Anthony?
Yeah, I'm checking. And by the way, I checked if the AI would add hashtags, and the answer is yes, it does.
Okay. Thanks.
Trying to get on the post.
So look, we're at 8 o'clock, and I can see people are starting to drift off. So I want to formally end the presentation. This has been fantastic. It's everything I thought it would be. I feel like we've gotten 101, and so I think we should bring you back next year to do a 102, and then maybe a 201 someday. Hopefully people will leave this meeting and try some of this stuff so that we'll be ready for some more advanced tips and tricks sometime next year. So I know
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
expect
to.
you all to go crazy on hashtags tonight.
That's right. That's the homework assignment. Go
Yes.
do a hashtag. Do a post with a hashtag. And
Thanks
that's
for
nice.
having us.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
for,
thank you so
joining.
much.
Yes, it's been great.